Alright, so yeah, this time we're into episodes like 10 through 12 in the Devimon Arc.
Yep.
So I guess we just have to like just go right into it. So like episode 10, so like just friggin' the Mimi episode. Jeez.
This is the one where she and Palmon start crying because Izzy won't pay attention to them or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the one where she and Palmon just start crying at random into this, like run off and create a big problem.
Thanks, idiots.
Yeah. Well, I feel so bad now, because, like, previously I was just like, oh yeah, Mimi's, like, alright, and now it's like, oh, that was really bad.
Keep in mind they're literal children.
Yeah. I guess that's fair enough. But yeah, they just, like, crash the bed onto his Ram Island, and they're just like, oh, hey, here's, like, some bananas, and they just unpeel it, and there's just nothing inside. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's pretty great.
Good old digital world.
Yeah. That's when, like, just the Sukamon just starts, like, throwing crap at Mimi, and she just looks at it, and she's just like, is this hair mousse? It's
yeah,
like...
I'm sure that's a dubism.
Yeah, oh, it definitely is. I'm amazed they didn't even go back to Numa Sludge or something. It's just like, oh yeah, it's hair gel. Of course.
Yeah, Mimi's not that bright.
Yeah. There's another weird dubism where apparently, like, Sukamon wants Mimi's hat or some crap. And it's
really?
like, huh.
Wait, I don't remember that. Any dub I've ever seen, he's like hitting on her.
Yeah, like, he wants her hat first, and then he becomes good, and then he starts hitting on her.
Oh, huh. I guess I just forgot that bit.
Yeah, it's just a weird throwaway thing. But yeah, he chases after her, he just starts throwing poop, and he just gets angry and starts, like, chasing after him. And, like, or she tries to, like, stand up to him, and he, like, activates the Digivice, and, you know, he quote-unquote turns good out of nowhere. Because the Digivice can do that, I guess?
Maybe... Did he have black gear in him?
No, he just touched the Digivice. He's like, oh yeah, I'm a good Digimon now.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
As far as I remember, the Digivice doesn't have the ability to, like, change alignments of Digimon.
Like, there's a line later on the, like, Japanese version where it's like, you know... Centauromon says something like it drives away the dark and brings out the light or something. And it's like, oh, okay.
I could believe that if it was a certain other Digidestin's Digivice.
Yeah.
that would not be the function of Mimi's.
Yeah, it's like, it's so weird because, like, this show's like, definitely in the sub version, it's like doing that Japanese thing where it's like, you know, good and evil are just, like, tangible, like, forces, and, you know, if you have, like, a good, like, device that, like, drives out the evil and makes things good, and it's, like, this very blatant sort of, like, you know, way to do it. So it's like, oh yeah, I guess Sukamon was just kind of, like, bad, and they touched the Digivice, and he became good, which somehow makes him, what, hit on Mimi?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
like why would a Digimon have any interest like that in a human?
I don't know. It's, like, super
exception...
weird, too, because, like, yeah, Mimi just specifically just keeps getting hit on by, like, filth-type Digimon. She, like, actively attracts the worst people.
The only exception I can possibly think of are Digimon that actually look human.
Wait a sec, I thought I just realized something.
Huh.
So, like, what color is Mimi's outfit?
Pink.
And, like, what color is poop in this world?
Pink.
And what do, like, all these filth Digimon throw? Pink poo.
I don't know. Nah. I don't know. I think it's a stretch.
I don't know.
They're not in love with their poop.
It's weird, but, like, I don't know. There's, like, some weird association there or some crap. No pun intended. That was terrible. Yes.
Something cool about the art style in this picture. Like, well, it's kind of the art style for the entire show.
Yeah. This shows
I don't know.
some really good-looking shots in it, actually.
I don't know, something about the lines are really fuzzy on the walls. There's these weird particle effects going on. I don't know.
Yeah, it's sort of those painted backgrounds just look. Well, I guess it's not specifically painted backgrounds, but yeah, those pre-made backgrounds just look really good.
Yeah, they might. I don't know. I don't know if it was traditionally hand animated. Probably not with all the shots they reuse.
Yeah. I imagine specifically it's probably the backgrounds are made with a lot of detail and stuff, and the Digimon are animated around that, sort of like a SpongeBob episode or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because actually look at yeah, they're inside the cage, the bars are in front of them.
Well,
So
yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of a neat way to do it. That's how they did it. Just put in the back layer.
Yeah, well, they're not doing it. The animation's good. They're not doing it Mega Man style where he pulls a bar, like a grate off of an air vent, and it warps into another dimension.
I still need to look up that clip because every time you describe it, it sounds so nuts.
It's let's see. I wouldn't be surprised if looking up Mega Man cartoon air vent brings it up.
Alright, let's...
It didn't.
Nah. Alright, I'll find it eventually. At some point.
I mean, we can talk while I look for it.
Yeah. Yeah, so, Mimi gets, chased around by Sukamon, and he, shows her the right way to go, and he's like, oh yeah, give me a kiss and stuff. And Mimi's just screw off. I'm getting the F out of here.
As you do.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Izzy just finds the, Digivice ruins. And he's just yeah, I need to, investigate this code on the wall because it might give us, some, secret knowledge or something. That's really weird because, in the dub, he's, very specifically oh yeah, this might give us a clue on how to get home or something. Which makes way more sense than, the subs version, where he's just oh, I just feel like there might be some ancient secret here I have to uncover, and he just, goes for it.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be out of character for Izzy to be like that.
Yeah. The weird thing is, the dubs version makes it more sense, but, the subs version is, way more consistent with the plot. Because it's, Tomon's, constantly, yeah, you should, go search for the rest of the group and not, ignore your friends. And, Mimi shows up and he's hang on, I gotta, figure out this thing, because, it might mean something, maybe. And he, just sort of types away, and Mimi just gets really upset because he's ignoring her. So yeah, it's when, Mimi just starts, crying out of nowhere, and Izzy's just what the frig did I do?
Okay, here you go.
Oh yeah, there's a weird thing where it's in the dub he says oh yeah, digiglyphs might represent actual writing. And it's what? Okay.
I mean, well, yeah.
Meanwhile, in the sub he just says, sorry, what?
If they're glyphs, they're probably a language of some kind.
Yeah. In the sub, he's more specifically oh yeah, this looks like the character for G, maybe. And, maybe that's, the key to something, and, he, goes into a bit more, depth with it.
I mean, Izzy's a smart kid, but I doubt he's, he's a linguistics expert.
Yeah. Well, apparently he knows enough, because he's able to, crack the code super hard, for some reason.
Just decipher a language real quick, no big deal.
Yeah. He, figures out this code in ways that don't actually make a lot of sense, but they just sort of work. So, like, Mimi just storms off because she's an idiot. And she gets herself lost in this big maze out of nowhere. And, like... Yeah, she's, like, just going around this maze, and as he's like, hang on, like, I'll just, like, figure out this maze with my computer. And he just, like, just hits a key, and it's just like, oh, hey, there's, like, the dot that represents Mimi inside this map of the maze. And I can, like, somehow hear what she says and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, let me just, like, hook in my wireless headset, and I'll be able to, like, talk back to her somehow. And it's like... Alright. If this wasn't the digital world, that'd be like a bit of a stretch.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of,
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff you can hand wave because of where they are.
Yeah. It's like, where's his voice coming from? And it's like, oh, I guess it's just coming from Mimi, just like her direction. Because it's just focused on, like, the dot on the map or something.
The maze just is a transmitter for audio signals. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, the maze just works. It just works how it wants to. Just Digimon maze works in mysterious ways. Yeah, then like Centauramon starts like chasing Mimi. There's this really weird shot where he just like, like steam comes out of his back, and it's just like in slow motion at like a super low frame rate. He just like jumps over the gap. Like he jumps over like this weird pitfall, and it just looks super awkward. And it's like, wait, what? And like I watched the sub version, it's like, oh yeah, Centauramon can like, move at the speed of sound by like expelling gas from his back. So I guess that was their version of, like, showing him moving super fast and breaking the sound barrier. Holy crap, Centauramon.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Digimon's got some ridiculous explanations, just like Pokemon does.
Yeah, like, I knew champions were kind of strong. I kind of assumed they were just at the scale of just big monsters. But no, apparently these things can move at, like, supersonic speeds and crap. And that's, like, the level we're scaling with.
Dude, when we play Cyber Sleuth, get ready to look at the descriptions of Ultimates and Megas and have every single one of them tell you that they're the most powerful Digimon in the digital world.
Yeah. Man, I know that, like, Megas are nuts, and, like, a lot of Ultimates are nuts. Like, Greymon just fires nukes. Like, Melgreymon, I mean.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it's just every single description is, this Digimon is the most powerful blank, this Digimon has the most powerful blank. Like...
Yeah.
Like, for Megidramon, it makes sense. It's like, Megidramon's existence will annihilate the digital world, and it's like, okay... But then it's like, this Digimon is the most powerful. There's like, he can annihilate a planet. I don't know. It's like, just some bull crap.
Holy crap!
I don't know if there's planet annihilating skills that it mentions, but it's on that level.
The fact that Megidramon is just like, oh yeah, I can just destroy the entire digital world is nuts.
Yeah, well, you said you've never seen Tamers, right?
I've seen, like, a good bit of it.
Ah.
So, like, I know Megidramon shows up at some point. I remember that fight. And he just gets his butt kicked by Beelzemon.
Yeah, which is weird, considering.
Yeah. He could destroy the entire digital world, and, Beelzemon's like, yeah, but I'm the embodiment of greed. And it's like, no, yeah.
No, wait, I'm dumb. Yeah, Beelzemon's mega level, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Why did I think he was champion? What the heck?
Yeah, if I remember right, Beelzemon's one of, like, the 7 deadly sins or something. And he's, like, the greed Digimon.
That's a series of side quests in Cyber Sleuth, where you fight the 7 deadly sin Digimon.
I'm pretty sure that's, like, a thing from Data Squad, but I'm, like, not 100%. Because I know, like, Lilithmon's, like, Lust and stuff like that. And I think, like, Creepymon's Wrath, and he's, like, the first big one they fighters. I played the game, so I know a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, Izzy just leads Mimi into a corner. Oh hey, Pokemon bootleg! Awesome!
I think the dude's just mocking Digimon. I think he just came in here to badmouth Digimon.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, who cares? I don't care.
Yeah, view still view.
I'm pretty sure Digimon actually existed before Pokemon, but whatever, man.
Like, if you also want badmouth Digimon, please like and comment below. Yes. So Izzy leads like me into a corner and just breaks open the wall to like get to her. And he's like, "Yeah, let's fight the Centaurimon." Just like, yeah, comment like like was like Palamon and Tentomon both like Digivolve, and like effing like Togemon nearly like shanks Izzy because it's like too close with its big cactus needles. Like, Togemon's the most destructive crap ever without even trying. Like, there's so many situations where it should be, like, shanking everything around it by accident. But yeah, so they, like, they beat Centaurimon, and he's just like, oh yeah, this maze is like a temple to the Digivices. And they're, like, these holy, like, devices. They're, like, these, they're holy machines that expel the darkness and, like, help summon light and stuff like that. And it's like, okay. Whatever you say, man. It's not exactly my place to question someone with a horse's body and, like, a gladiator helmet who fights by firing sunlight out of his arm. And can apparently move at the speed of sound.
Digimon power levels greatly exaggerated.
It's kinda nuts, actually.
Okay,
so
I'm wrong. Pokemon. It's like the first Pokemon game came out first, I think.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense, I think. I'd buy it. Like, I know there's similarities, but it's like, they're both based on, like, yokai and stuff, so it's like, yeah, it makes sense that there'd be, like, a lot of similarities there. So I've been, like, watching all of, like, Gaijin Goomba's stuff recently. Apparently, like, in feudal Japan, there are actually, like, people who could, like, quote-unquote, supposedly, like, summon and control yokai monsters. So it's like, oh, okay. Like, Pokemon trainer used to be an actual job description. Awesome.
Well, I mean, they pretended.
Yeah. They, like, told people they could anyways.
Yeah.
Because, it's like, oh, we can, like, control these evil spirits, and, like, if you, like, trust in us, we'll get rid of the bad things, and yeah. This makes a lot of sense, honestly, in hindsight, I think. But yeah, so Leomon just randomly shows up and he's like, I must kill the children.
They must die.
Yeah, and they just hold out their Digivice and then just, like, shoos them off. Because, like, effing, I guess, Devimon control?
It's like, oh, the dark gear, oh no.
Well, no, Leomon doesn't have a black gear him, does he? I think he's just being mind-controlled.
Oh, maybe?
Yeah, because, like, Devimon touches him, and then, they, like, he fights it off, and they, like, touch him again, and he just goes back under his command.
Oh, okay. I'd believe it.
Yeah. I'd buy that Devimon can just brainwash people. That seems like a very Devimon thing to do, honestly.
I mean, it makes sense. He's a devil allegory, so yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like, me just kicks the black gear and the on just moves the our way. It's just like, okay, yeah. Like, we solved the problem, guys. Fixed it. Like, that's a weird thing, because, like, in the sub, Izzy's specifically like, hey, Centaurimon, can you destroy this black gear? And Centauromon's like, it may be beyond my power. And, like, Mimi just kicks it and it works. And it's like, oh, okay.
Digidestined really strong.
Yeah. Digidestined stronger than thing that can move at supersonic speeds. But yeah, so like... any thoughts on like the episode, I guess?
No, not really.
Yeah, not really.
Just that Mimi's a big baby.
Yeah. Like, I kind of like that we're getting, like, you know, episodes where it's like, oh yeah, just two Digidestin just sort of going on adventure together. But, like, yeah, this kind of, yeah, Mimi kind of sucks.
Mimi got stuck with the one person who could not care less about her whining.
She got stuck with the one person who couldn't care about her bullcrap and wanted to, like, do something better. Man, like, if Mimi got stuck with, like, Sora or something, then it'd probably, like, work out fairly well, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... Episode 11, so, like, this is the effing ghost episode, which just comes the heck out of nowhere.
Well, so they're not coming out of nowhere, it's showing what all the other children are doing.
Yeah.
Like, when they got separated.
It's like, it makes sense because this is, like, you know, their episode together and stuff like that, like, you know, Joe and Sora's episode. But at the same time, it's like, you could have shoved this situation at, like, really pretty much any point and it'd work about as well.
Like, within the series of episodes, again, this links back to when they were separated. It's showing where they all went.
Yeah. But, like, why me is, like, you know, like, Matt and Ty get together and, you know, Matt's very specifically like, okay, I need to, like, find my little brother. I need to, like, you know, we need to fix this, like, right now. And, like, you know, Izzy and Mimi get separate, and they're like, oh, hey, here's this, like, secret ruin with this, like, ancient info, and we have to, like, you know, examine this and figure out, like, what's up with it. And meanwhile, like, Joe and Sora get separate. It's just, like, they could have found this, like, church at, like, any point. Like, it feels so unspecial and just, like, random, and it's fine, but it's, like, you know... Yeah, this, like, could not be further from the big main plot of getting back to the main island, honestly. It's like, the only real big connection is that it's like, oh yeah, the R's are gone, it's just Joe and Sora doing their thing, and it's like, alright, yeah, I'm fine with that. But yeah, that's kind of why it's, like, so hard to remember this one, because, like, I do remember this episode from, like, you know, when I was a kid and stuff. I completely forgot it was, like, in this arc.
I remember this episode specifically because of something that happens, or, like, something I learned about the events that happened later.
Yeah. So you get some narration, like, I think Mimi's saying this because I didn't write down who, but someone's just like, oh yeah, Izzy and I used our Digivices and shooed that bad kitty away.
Yeah, that was narration from Mimi.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So yeah, like, effing Joe and Gomar just floating on the bottom of the ocean, just, like, doing their comedy shit together. And, like, Joe just starts, like, just shaking Goemon, who's just, like, super chill the entire time.
Yeah, Goemon doesn't care.
Yeah, Goemon just ate all their rations. He's like, yeah, I'm fine. A lot of this stuff, there's, like, a weird thing where Goemon's just like, oh yeah, you have to, like, keep up hope or you'll get seasick, and Joe gets really, like, angry and then starts throwing up. And, like, Goemon's just like, yeah, you should have, like, kept your hope up. And it's like, oh, that's kind of cute. But yeah, like, Joe just sees a random, like, just unmarked container, just, like, this random crate just float towards them. And he's just like, specifically in the dub, and I quote, maybe it's full of fruit, vegetables, bread, milk, cereal, hot dogs, cookies, candy, and soda.
Joe, while older than the other kid, still a child.
Yeah, he's got one heck of an optimistic personality in the dub.
Yeah.
Like, in the sub, he's just like, oh, maybe it's like, like, I'm trying to remember the exact words, like balls of water and like decontaminated food or something. And it's
so Sub Joe is way more level-headed and rational about it.
Yeah, Sub Joe's way more Joe feeling than Dub Joe.
Instead of wanting a bunch of like junk food.
Yeah, it's like, balls of water and like, like uncontaminated food are like way more Joe things to expect, I think.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, that's when, like, Ogremon just pops out of the effing crate in the middle of the ocean. Just completely at random.
Just solid snakes it.
Yeah, it just happens to float to his bed, and Ogremon just jumps out, and he's like, I go like him with my bone club, and just starts swinging away. Like, effing Joe just, like, jumps over this club, like, 4 times and ducks it. And it's like, friggin' jeez, Joe. Dude's, like, skilled as crap.
When a giant ogre jumps out of a box and starts swinging things at you, your survival instincts probably kick in pretty hard.
Yeah, Joel's riding that, like, endorphin rush, that adrenaline, just, like, so hard, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, effing Gomamon just starts, like, shooting fish at him, because he's like, oh yeah, I'm in the ocean now.
I'm in the ocean, this is my element.
Yeah. Like, it starts working for, like, a second, and, like, Ogremon's just blocking him. He's like, I'm not scared of some stinking fish. On second thought, that really hurt. Like, exact quote.
Yeah.
There's, like, in the dub, there's a bit where, like, Gomamon's just like, oh yeah, like, these fish might be weak, but, when the weak gather together, they can take on the strong. Which is, like, way more logical and, like, less jokey than what the sub has him say. Which is like, oh yeah, like, Ogremon's from the mountains, so he's, like, probably weak against the smell of raw seafood.
Weird.
Yeah, that very much sounds like it's some kind of, like, Japanese, like, like, prefecture thing, where it's like, oh, like, people from the mountains don't like, sushi or something like that.
I don't know. My thought behind that is, like, I don't know. I don't remember, like, Digimon elemental weaknesses off the top of my head. But yeah. I could believe that, like, Earth-based Digimon are weak to water-based Digimon.
Yeah, I'd buy it. Yeah, and, like, Ogron just starts, like, effing JoJo punching the fish out of the air. And they're just like, oh, crap. Like, Gomamon's to, like, turn to a Kakumon to, like, just fight Ogremon's, like, auras.
I mean, it makes sense. Ogremon's a champion.
Yeah, and get, like, one shot off at him and then just run as Ogremon's just stuck in his, like, box.
Yeah, and at that point, it's like, what was your plan?
Yeah. Like...
And then some fishermen will come along and find a crate labeled Ogremon.
Like, I'm pretty sure in both versions...
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in both versions, Ogremon just straight up says, I can't swim.
Yeah.
It's like, what was your, like, plan? Like, what even?
Yeah. I'm making a stupid JoJo joke.
Oh, sorry, that completely wore my head, but it's like Anubis, right?
No, I'm making fun, like the crate is labeled with Ogremon, like Dio's coffin.
Yeah, like Dio's coffin.
Yeah, some digital fishermen pull it out of the ocean 100 years later.
Like, Joe just escapes in the crate, and, like, Sora just looks at the crate, opens it up, and there's just an Ogremon side.
Yeah.
It's like, Ogremon's like, I was hiding in the false bomb the entire time.
Oh god, there was a coffin inside the coffin.
Yeah. Did you, like, hear about that?
I can't. Like they talked about it on the Castle Super Beast cast, but I don't remember if that was like a canon explanation or if it was something they came up with.
I think it's just like a fan theory or something. It's like, oh yeah, the coffin just has a false bottom, and that's why Dio's in there.
Okay, yeah, and I think Pat was going off on it, like how stupid that is, or maybe
it's so stupid.
It was either Pat. Well, there's only two of them, so it had to be one of them. But yeah, it was either Pat or Wooly going off on how dumb that is.
I'm pretty sure that's not canon at all, because, like, I'm, like, actually fairly certain that, like, Araki straight up actually just uses I forgot as, like, an excuse for, like, every plot hole in the series. Because you can just, like, play it off as, like, a joke.
Yeah, it's JoJo, who cares?
Yeah. But yeah, like, that's where that meme of, like, Araki forgot comes from, because he's like, you know, it's like, oh, hey, how's this work? He's like, I know, I must have forgot. I forget a lot of things, you know.
I mean, it's true. He did forget that he made Earth, Wind, and Fire already. And
yeah, that's true.
And then made Earth, Wind, and Fire again.
Man. But yeah, just jeez, Okermon, what was your, like, plan for this even? That's still, like, the goofiest crap to me. It's like, Okermon just pops out, he's just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna, like, you know, float on by in this box that I can't control, and, you know, when they go open it, I'll just pop out and just hit him with my bone club, and I'll be, like, good after that, I guess.
Yeah, he didn't account for the idea that he might miss, or Joe might be able to dodge.
For someone who can't swim, it's really dumb of him to go after the guy who's just floating in the middle of the ocean. Like, go after TK at least. So yeah, Sora just, like, fishes up Joe at random. And there's like, oh hey, like, we should, like, you know, make Joe the leader because he needs more confidence. And it's like, yeah, alright. So, like, Joe's the leader, and he immediately, like, gets them all in trouble.
Of course.
Oh yeah, it's mod to my mind. In the sub, like, there's a weird little mention of Sora's just like, oh yeah, like, I don't have to, like, bait on this fishing line, I just have, like, a stick. But hopefully that'll be good enough.
Yeah. So if you don't have bait, you just kind of have to try, hope for the best.
Yeah.
Maybe the fish will see the hook as a worm. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it'll work. Like, yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I don't fish, so I don't really know.
Yeah, if anyone, like, actually fishes and then, like, catch stuff with, like, a stick at the end of their line, then, like, yeah, let us know, because that'd at least be interesting. Like, fish facts. So yeah, they, like, Joe just sees, like, a creepy church, and he's just like, oh yeah, I trust that place. There's people there, it has to be good.
Well, I mean, this is the same guy who trusted the creepy mansion because there was a picture of an angel.
Yeah, Joe seems, like, very easily duped by religion. It's kind of weird.
He might be, well, maybe that's something for the sub to answer, but maybe he's actually fairly religious in the original airing.
And if he is, that'd be weird, because it seems like he's, like, you know, very specifically, like, duped by, like, Christian iconography, even though he's, like, Japanese.
Yeah.
And I'd buy it, but still. Just seems like a weird running thing.
Yeah. If anything, he would probably be Buddhist, considering the implications of this episode.
Yeah. But yeah, so they, like, check out the, like, you know, this little festival that's happening at, like, this creepy church. And they're just like, oh, hey, is this trick-or-treat or something? Why is everyone wearing masks? It's like, oh, man, if only you knew.
Creepy Japanese yokai stuff.
It's basically the Na of 100 Yokai, like the Festival of 100 Yokai, or whatever it's called. Except with ghosts. Yeah, so there's like, hey, like, what's going on? There's like, oh, hey, check out this church we have. Like, it's kind of weird that, like, even in the sub, there are, like, medallions and stuff for, like, this weird X shape instead of the cross. Like, I'd assume that would be censorship, but nah, it's just like that.
Oh, no, they don't, slight spoilers for a later episode, but they don't really shy away from Christian iconography or symbolism. Like, it's really weird.
Yeah. Huh.
Night Parade of 100 Demons.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. It's like a big thing where it's like all the yokai just like, march through the streets and have their big like party and stuff, and if you like see them doing their festival, then it's like bad luck or something.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of Oni and yokai just go nuts in the street for a while.
Yeah. Whereas apparently there's like a poster account of something, or like, some like official image from like, Nintendo of like just their Pokemon doing that. And it's like, oh yeah, cool. That's really cool. Like they're all like, dressed up in goofy like outfits and stuff.
I'm a huge fan of everything yokai.
Yeah, it's really neat. But yeah, so they like talk to this priest who's just like, oh yeah, we're giving offerings to Lord Bakumon, who's the Digimon that like actively rules ghosts. Like, Bakumon's not just a ghost Digimon, he commands the ghosts. And it's like, oh jeez, that's awesome. Yeah, there's like, oh hey, what's the offering is? Turns around, he's like, oh, it's you! And he just like, this dude in a mask just breaks open, it's just a Bakumon. And they just look over, it's like, oh no, all the people here are Bakumon.
I mean, their first mistake was thinking that people were real.
Yeah.
In the digital world.
Yeah. It's like a weird thing where Goemon's just like, in the sub, Goemon's just like, Bakumon like specifically lives at like this type of cemetery. And they like have the big Bakumon reveal. And he's like, they run out the church and he's like, oh wow, we're in that exact same cemetery I just mentioned.
What a coincidence.
It's like, yeah, how ignorant of us to not notice that. But yeah. So, like, the Bakumon just, like, immediately capture them because all their Digimon are, like, exhausted. And they just throw, like, Gomamon and Biyomon in just a ghost prison cell inside the church. Like also, how just all churches just have a prison cell.
Yeah. Also, two rookies would have a tough time standing up to a bunch of champions.
Yeah, there's, like, something like 30 Bakumon around or some crap. It's nuts.
Yeah, so, hey, good on the anime. Usually there's bullcrap stuff in anime and video games where, your character's been captured, or you and your friends have been captured by these people that you've been fighting off the entire game. Oh no, man. They surrounded you, that means they win. There's some stupid bullcrap like that in Final Fantasy XIV that really angered me.
Oh man, like that seems especially egregious because in FF14 you're like constantly fighting gods.
Yeah,
like,
hello, I am God Slayer, Warrior of Light. Hi.
Yeah, like I just defeated Shiva, the like god who laid with dragons and was going to end an entire war. Can you please not make me like find some junk around camp now?
They literally, this freaking guy shows up, and to be fair, you and your party just kind of like, okay, take us to your leader or whatever, and then he starts to demand you and your friends do trivial bullcrap for him, and everyone's just like, okay, it's fine, we'll do it, and I'm sitting there like, no.
No, we can take him.
You, Warrior of Light, Slayer of Gods, go gather seaweed. Like, probably the character I hate the most in the story is part of that section of the game.
Man. Yes, it's like after the town stuff too, where it's just like, you know, you have to like go around the entire map to like, you know, just appease this random nobody who's just like, oh yeah, I beat Titus once.
Gather things for a feast.
Yeah.
Gather stuff for a feast for you.
You don't even get to enjoy the feast.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah, so like they just like throw the rookies into their ghost prison church cell.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I mean, if it's like an ancient church, I could believe there would be dungeons.
Yeah. Like, I guess. That just seems like so weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just have like Sora and Joe tied up, and they just start dumping like just cartoonishly huge things of like salt and pepper on them. It's just like, just every time, it's just the goofiest crap. I kind of love it. It's like some Looney Tunes crap, you know?
Yeah, some silly nonsensical torture method.
No, there's like, oh, we have to like season these guys up so we can eat them. And, you know, Joe's like, oh,
okay.
please don't.
Oh, okay.
No, the nonsensical torture crap comes later.
Right. I don't remember what it is. I don't remember what it is, but it can't be more nonsensical than the stupid scene in Digimon Frontier.
So, like... Wait, which one?
Like which series or which episode?
Which scene?
It's like a tickle torture scene.
The frick?
Yeah.
Huh.
Where the bad guys have the kids tied to like crosses or whatever, and they're tickling them.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's a real strange scene.
Huh.
It's really uncomfortable.
Alright. But yeah, like, for Digimon Gomamar just sitting in their, like, ghost cell, just like, I don't know, maybe there's, like, somebody out here. And, like, in the sub, Gomamon specifically, like, oh yeah, like, ghost Digimon that have, like, you know, giant snot bubbles coming out of them are usually pretty stupid. And Biomon's like, that's a huge assumption.
Doesn't he say that in both versions?
I think he, like, in the English, he says something like, oh, that guy looks like, you know, very, like, easy to fool. You know, he doesn't look too bright.
Oh, okay.
So it's a bit, like, you know, bit different, but the same basic idea.
In the sub, he calls out the trope specifically.
Yeah. He's like, yo, look at that snot ball. He's probably, like, super dumb.
That's fine.
So they, like, you know, wake up the Bakumon, and, like, Goemons are just like, hey, when do you start tying us, you flowing bag of wood? And Biomon's just like, yeah, you give bad Digimon a bad name. So, yeah, like, their plan is just like, oh yeah, like, you need to actually taunt us with, like, food or we won't be able to, like, you know, feel bad. And he's like, oh, okay, I guess I gotta do that then.
Oh, look, I got food. Ooh. Waves it in front of the cell.
Yeah. In the sub, they're specifically like, yeah, aren't you gonna torture us?
Yeah.
Which is where this amazing image comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like... Yeah, like, yo, surely you're like, surely Bakumar are, like, well-equipped enough to have, like, some food lying around or something. And they kind of, like, call him out a little bit. And he's like, oh yeah, we got some food here, here you go. And he's like, I'm waving it. It's like, nah, let's bring it a bit closer, we can't see it well. He's like, okay, I'll bring it right up to you then. And this, just break out.
It's just not, it's just grab the food. He's not very bright.
Oh, man.
Gomamon was indeed correct.
So, like, they break out. Meanwhile, like, just Sora and Joe are just about to be eaten just straight up. There's like this super goofy chant in the dub that they add in, where it's like, and I quote, "We're scary ghosts. We like to boo. Now it's time to chew on you."
Oh, I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah, they're like, this is, there's like, oh no, these ghosts, and there's like, yeah, trick or treat, cause effing ghosts.
So dumb.
But yeah, like
happy,
effing like,
happy October 2nd.
yeah. Man, Halloween's awesome.
Love it.
What?
I said I love it.
Oh man. But yeah, so like Goemon, Beomon just digivolve. And I actively check, cause like, we don't see Joe or Sora getting untied. We just see them digivolve and like Joe and Sora just like run out like with their like arms free and stuff.
It's fine.
It's fine, but it's just sort of funny.
Were the I don't remember, were the kids and the Digimon in the same cell?
No, the kids were tied up like on the altar about to get eaten.
Okay, I don't know. This is really fast. They cut the vines. I don't know. Don't worry about it.
They just sort of show up and they're free.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it starts like playing Butterfly in the sub as they're like, just fight the like Bakumon, who just fuse together into one big Lord Bakumon with arms.
Wait, is it Butterfly or Braveheart?
Right, Braveheart. Sorry, I got mixed up for a second. Yeah.
Butterfly doesn't seem like a fitting song for that.
Yeah, no, it's Braveheart. So yeah, Braveheart just starts up as they like just attack him. But like their attacks are ineffective.
Because of ghosts.
Like, yeah, Bakuman just like throws the missile aside and stuff, and he's like, yeah, I'm too strong for this.
Which is bullcrap, by the way. They're ghosts, but they can still be hurt like any other Digimon.
Like, to be fair, it's like 30 Bakumon in one. I'd expect them to be kind of strong.
True.
But yeah, this is where, like, in the dub, like, Joe's just like, oh man, there has to be, like, some way to stop him, and he's like, oh hey, maybe I should do the leader thing and, like, take charge for a second. In the dub, he says, and I quote, I once saw a show with this Roman physicist, and he believed that repeating a phrase could focus your mind over matter.
Bullcrap.
Roman physicist. It's like,
Buddhist monk.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure a physicist wouldn't be, like, specialized in, like, stuff like that. I'm pretty sure they'd be, like, more involved in physics.
A physicist would be, like, ghosts? What? What are you talking about?
A physicist would be like, no, just, like, just I don't have time to deal with that. I have to, like, measure how the projectile of this bullet changes with gravitational force. As I, like, program in these, like, calculations for space travel. Oh, man. But yeah, like, in the sub, there's like, oh yeah, Joe's like, I learned this, like, chant that, like, helps you get, like, good luck on test scores. So, like, it's a chant, and it's like a prayer, so it has to work on ghosts.
Wait, it was a chant to help him on tests?
Yeah.
It's friggin' weird.
He's like, yeah, I like, learned this to, like, help me with exams, and Sora's like, wait, but if it's for that, is it gonna work? And Joe's like, it has to, because it's a prayer.
Well,
yeah.
on the oh god, what was it even called again? The Night Parade of 100 Demons. That's it. The wiki page for it.
Yeah.
It mentions that one way to stay safe from it. Let's see.
Is it to, like, chant a, like, prayer or something?
The only way to be kept safe from the Night Parade is if we're coming to your house is to stay inside on the specific nights associated with the Chinese zodiac, or to chant the magic spell. Kata Shihaya Ekase Niku Ri ni tame rusake tei hi ashiehi. Oh, there's more. Screw it. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually, like, really interesting, because that's, like...
Does that sound like what they say?
Yeah, but it also, like, doesn't sound that distinct from, like, you know, like, what Ninja would do, because they'd have their own, like, prayer that they'd say when they did their hand signs to, like, calm them down before mission.
Yeah.
See, I wonder if that's, like, where that tradition kind of, like, comes from for, like, the ninja, from, like, that, you know, good luck prayer or something.
I can run this. I can run this Japanese text through a translator and see if it actually comes back with the actual words.
Oh, if you could, that'd be awesome. I imagine it's probably just gonna come back as, you know, like, just the words, but, like, if they actually said something, that'd be great.
Well, it's, like, there's a string of actual Japanese text and not just the things I read.
Yeah.
Oh, no, but it literally translates to
just the text.
It doesn't literally.
Yeah.
It tried.
Yeah. Did it, like, come up with a bunch of nonsense?
Well, there's a bunch of there's like all the sounds I was doing, and then I guess some of them came together to make words a little bit. So salmon, it comes back to salmon as one of the words.
Huh.
There it is. That's what it came back with. I posted it in the Discord.
Kitasashi, I probably butchered that too hard. Ekisakuneli, Bamel, salmon, Teihai, Ishihai, Wellish, Shinkaneri.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, there's that Mega Man image.
Yeah, I said I posted that.
Oh, holy crap, what the heck?
Yeah.
That's real. Yeah, that really doesn't make any sense at all. What the heck even?
Yeah, Mega Man's like, we gotta save Roll, and then he one-handed, like, he grabs the bar with one hand and turns, and it does that. And it's like, I wish I could find a clip of it, but I can't for some reason.
Oh, that's amazing. That's actually amazing.
Yeah, he sends himself to another dimension, pulling the grate off of.
He sent himself to the Phantom Zone. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That lived up to every single expectation.
I think Rush is also in the vent with him, and he just kind of vanishes.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, so their prayer works, and, like, you know, it makes sense if it, like, does actually translate into something, because, like, there's no subtitles for, like, the chant.
Okay, yeah, so it's just a chant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we said in the dub. It's just Joe going, "Bakemon, lose your power. Bakemon, lose your power," like repeatedly.
Yeah, and Bakemon just loses his power, and they never use it against any Digimon ever again.
Well, it only worked on ghosts.
But if it's like a Roman physicist thing, then it'd work on anything, right?
No, because in the sub, it's a Buddhist chant.
Yeah, exactly. But in the dub, it doesn't make sense that they wouldn't bring it back.
Yeah. Christian iconography and symbolism is fine, but we can't show anything relating to Buddhism. That'd be bad.
Yeah. Like, to be fair, if I was just watching this as a kid and I had, like, no idea of, like, you know, like, other cultures and stuff, and there's like, oh yeah, we just have to, like, say the magic chant, then I'd be, like, so confused.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, maybe I wasn't actually this smart as a kid, but I'd probably just assume it was something like a foreign thing I just didn't understand.
Yeah.
But I also don't think I had a concept of this is a Japanese cartoon, so maybe not.
Yeah. Like, back then, you just turned on Digimon, it's just like, oh yeah, it's like a cartoon like SpongeBob. Except it's, like, action, and it's, like, really, like, crazy and stuff.
Yeah, these cartoons have fighting. They're cool.
Yeah, these cartoons are comedy. They're good, too.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I grew up with both. I'm not making any wild statement against Western animation.
Nah, SpongeBob's great. Love it.
Early SpongeBob.
Yeah, specifically early SpongeBob. Like, every now and then I'll still, like, watch an episode and it'll be like, oh yeah, that's still great.
I gotta link something to you. It's the episode of SpongeBob Band of Geeks reanimated by a bunch of people.
Oh, I saw that. That was great.
Oh, did you watch it?
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember if I posted it or.
Just see the Powerpuff Girls reanimated.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, they did the Buddy episode. And boy, did people have fun with that. But I've seen, like, that on the, like, SpongeBob one about Band Geeks. And I've also seen one that was, like, Kirby Right Back at Ya. And it's, like, the episode about how hard it is to make animation.
Yeah, that one's good.
Oh, man. Just, like, tell a bunch of animators to make a bad animation on purpose from just across the internet. And you're gonna get some wild crap.
Yeah. I love those reanimation projects. They're so good.
Oh, they're great. I still need to watch I still need to watch Shrek Retold at some point. Because, like, I haven't seen that yet, but I've heard great things about it.
Oh, that was so good.
Oh, man.
It's so funny. This isn't really related to, like, a cartoon or, like, a movie or anything.
Nah, it's fine. Go for it.
Well, it's a YouTube channel I watch, Oni Plays, where they did a Lord of the Rings, like, text adventure game. And so a bunch of animators came together to animate scenes of it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and it's the whole thing. So honestly, I would link that before I link the actual, like, text adventure thing.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so it's basically just the episode, but with visuals, and it's amazing.
Oh, man. Like, I was recently, like, watching our channel bit, and I, like, found the episode where they're like, oh yeah, it's Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like, is this the worst Dragon Ball game ever? And there's like, I don't know, maybe. Probably not.
Well, one of them brings up sagas.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. And I'll be honest. When I was younger, I played sagas, and I liked sagas, but I was also a stupid kid.
Yeah.
If I played it again today, I think I would be, like, from seeing people talk about it, and I'm not saying that I'd be, like, completely influenced by their opinions or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like that game looks painfully boring.
Like,
and I don't think I would enjoy it now.
I remember playing sagas. I think I was like, like a young teen or somewhere around that time. But it was like, I remember blah blah. I remember like finishing it and being like, oh yeah, this is good, but like not really enjoying it, but still being like, yeah, it's fine. Which is kind of nuts because I was like, when I was a kid, I was just there like, oh yeah, there's no such thing as like bad or like, poorly done media. Because if they put it out there, then it has to be good, right?
Yeah, people worked on it. They could. There's no way people do a halfway job.
Yeah, like if it's out there, it has to be good. And I'd sort of like watch a lot of really dumb crap and be like, okay, I'm not really feeling that, but it's still good, I guess, because it's on TV. It has to have an audience, right?
Yeah.
I guess, like, that's still kind of true. Like, there's probably some audience out there for most things. But, like, yeah, definitely not to, the extent I was thinking of, like, as a kid, where it's like, oh, yeah, this movie, like, it's a movie. Of course it's good.
Yeah.
Of course it makes sense if I think about it hard enough. I just don't get it yet. Man. Like, this is super unrelated to everything.
I mean, I think we still have another episode to talk about.
Yeah, we do, but we have plenty of time, so screw it.
Oh, episode 12 is stupid anyways.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna come out and say it right now. Episode 12 is dumb.
Like, have you ever seen, like, a Stephen King movie that's called, I think it's called Dreamwalker? Or
No.
Dreamcatcher or something?
Wait, maybe clips of it.
Yeah, there's, like, some movie where it's like, oh yeah, it's, like, this alien that, like, comes up through the toilet and just gets into your butt and kills you.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
Yeah, and, like, I remember seeing, like, a bit of that as a kid. And I just remember, seeing, like, a guy in the toilet with, like, the toothpicks. It was just, like, chewing them. And it's just like, well, I just don't understand this because I'm still a stupid kid, right? Like, this, like, sits eventually why he's, like, just, like, bleeding out of his mouth, like, chewing these toothpicks up at random. Just sitting on this toilet. And I'm like, there's probably some deeper meaning behind it. It's just like, nah, it's exactly what it seems to be.
Nah, it's just dumb.
Yeah. And, like, the alien just goes up his butt and kills him. And I'm just like, oh, well, I don't want to use the toilet now. That's terrible. I don't want to get killed by an alien worm monster.
Sometimes media is just bad.
Yeah. Thankfully, like, nothing came of that, it was just like, whatever, but still, that, like, had me a bit on edge for a bit. So, yeah, they, like, Bakuman loses his power.
Yeah.
Because this is totally a Digimon podcast. And, like, I'm pretty sure in the dub they cut this slightly. And the sub, like, Braveheart fades out for, like, the chant because they're losing. And it kicks back in. And, like, they shoot Harpoon Torpedo and, like, Meteor Wing Am. And I'm pretty sure in, like, the dub that's just sort of where it ends. In the sub, like, you see Harpoon Torpedo just sort of, like, stab into his stomach. And then, like, Meteor Wing just, like, ignites it, and he just explodes. And you see, like, bits of Bakuman fabric just, like, fly off, just, like, from off-screen.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's like, oh, that's so good, you should have kept it.
Animated violence, heck yeah.
Yeah. Jeez, they murdered that Bakuman, like, straight up. That might be, like, the first Digimon in the series they've actually killed. Like, just no regret at all. Like, that Bakuman is effing dead. Presumably, at least.
Sometimes you just gotta kill your enemy.
Yeah, the only thing that stops, like, a bad ghost Digimon is a good walrus Digimon and a flying bird Digimon. Blowing it up with explosives. I was going for a weird reference there and it just didn't work, I think. Ah, well, whatever.
Sometimes you just gotta kill them all.
So, yeah, like, bit unrelated to the overall plot, but, like, still a really fun episode. Just, like, love, just, like, yeah, it's just goofy as crap, and I just kind of love it, actually.
Yeah, that's Digimon in a nutshell.
Yeah. It may be, like, the dumbest episode yet, but that's what makes it so much fun.
Until we get to episode...
Sorry, what was that? You cut out for a sec.
I said until we get to episode 12.
Oh, boy. So episode 12, the TK Baby Adventures with TK, starring TK.
Yeah. We learn where Digimon, we learn Digimon don't die. Not really.
I don't think that's established yet, but we do learn that, like, Digimon come from eggs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was something that was established.
Yeah, because, like, no one actually dies this episode, and no one really mentions death. Which would have made
Right.
this episode way more interesting if they did.
Okay,
But,
well, we learn where babies come from.
Basically.
Yeah.
Like, as well as we're gonna learn, I assume. Like, we don't know where the actual eggs come from, but we know that they come from eggs. So there's like a weird bit where like Devilmon's just standing on like a cliff and he's just like, oh, you've all failed me, but you know, like, if you like can get your act together, then we can like actually defeat the chosen ones and stuff. And you know, he's just like holding Ogremon up by like, you know, one hand, like from the cliff. Ogremon's like, oh no, let me down, let me down. So like in the dub, Devimon just drops into a comedic sound effect. And you just hear Ogremon say, thank you, master. And weirdly, that's about the same in the sub, just a bit less ridiculous. Like, Ogremon's just like, no, please, I'll do better next time, and he just drops him. And Ogremon's like, yeah, thank you. So, boy, this episode is effing lame. Like, TK just crashes his bed and, like, you know, is just saved by Patamon. And he just looks over at the waterfall, and TK's just like, oh, look at all that water. Somebody must have let the bathtub overflow. The frick? And it's like, the crap is wrong with you, TK. Like, what even was that?
Gotta try to be nice to TK. He's like 5.
Yeah. Like, he doesn't seem like that much younger than the others from how he acts and stuff. But, like, he is the youngest, so... yeah, alright. Just gotta be nice to the baby shit kid, because he's a baby.
Yeah. The main point is TK gets sent to Baby Village where he interacts with babies because Patamon can't fight.
Yeah. There's a weird shot where, like, you know, like, how do I explain this? It's like, TK's, like, standing in front of the waterfall, and the camera pulls back, and you see, like, the waterfall and the rocks and stuff, like, change in size as they kind of, like, go out of focus and stuff, or, like, whatever. But, like, as it's panning back, TK stays the exact same size on screen. So it just looks like he's sliding on nothing. And, like, midway through the shot, Patamon just appears literally out of nowhere, just out of thin air, like, you know, between frames, just flying upwards. And it's like, how the frick did you screw that up? Like, even weirder is in the dub, they show this shot twice, because, you know, this shot happens, and you go, like, commercial, and it comes back in with that same shot. And it looks so terrible.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah. It's like in the Japanese version, too, so it's just like a straight animation error, and it's just super bizarre. Yeah, so, like, TK starts crying, and, like, Patamon was like, oh, maybe if I was Bergermon, I could fly us out of here. And you see a really crappy, like, image of Bergermon flying away, like, super fast, like, unnaturally so. And Patamon just starts crying, and TK's crying about Patamon. And it's like, yeah, just welcome to Crying Children, the episode.
Yep.
Yeah, like...
And then they find the frickin' eggs.
Apparently Patamon's not a pig. Because he actively says, I'm not a pig.
I mean, Patamon doesn't look like a pig.
I feel like at some point someone said to me he was a pig, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
That's weird, because Patamon doesn't look like a pig or any other living animal.
Like, I guess it's because he has, like, weird, like, they're not quite hoofed toes, but they're kind of like that or something? I don't know.
He's just a little monster thing.
Yeah,
I don't
just a
think
little
there's
flying monster Bob.
I don't think there's supposed to be any deeper meaning behind what he is.
But yeah, they discuss like what Pamon might evolve into, and it's like, no, maybe he'll turn to that giant angel man from the intro that shows up with TK all the time.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wouldn't that be wild?
Like, I really wish they had some way to like just hide the evolutions until they appear or something. Because
Kind of
I
like
think that might be a thing later on with like season 3 where it's like, they at least like silhouette what the evolved forms are in the intro until they appear.
yeah. Kind of like and it is a later series, so it's not really fair to hold it up to the standard, but JoJo Part 4, where the first intro has Kokichi and he just poses by himself for a while until a certain episode happens.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, and then they changed the intro accordingly.
Yeah. So yeah, TK just finds the baby island for babies where he has baby adventures. And he just sees just a note that's written clearly in Japanese, and he's like, oh, it's written in digicode.
Ah, yes, of course, digicode.
Which Pamon can apparently just read. So yeah, they just, bounce around a bit, and they just, pet the eggs, and they're just like, oh, hey, like, eggs just hatch into Digimon, and they just, form a crib out of nowhere. And it's like, alright, that's how that works.
And then Elecmon gets mad.
Yeah. Like, they're just, like, chilling out, they're just like, oh, hey, this Yokumar, whatever the heck, just, like, poops itself. Seikura's like, oh, that thing's so screwed, it's gonna turn Nuamon in no time. But yeah, like, they just make all the babies upset and just take all the babies out of their cribs, and there's just babies crying and pooping everywhere. And Elecmon just shows up and he's like, wait, why are my babies crying and there's these weird strangers around? I should kill these guys.
Gonna shock them to death.
Yeah.
By the way, Elecmon, cool design.
Yeah, Elecmon's a pretty awesome Digimon, actually. Like, Elecmon's, like, alright. I feel like he probably should have, like, got a bit more play. He's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if someone had, like, Elecmon as, like, a starter, that'd be pretty cool. Like, honestly. Because, like, the design's there.
Yeah, he's got a cool, like, little monster design. His colors are nice. His electric powers are cool.
Yeah.
Like, everything really works for him. Like, he's not, like, he's a monster, but he's cute still.
Yeah,
he kind of looks like a rabbit.
It'd be cool if there was, like, some future season that was just like, oh yeah, this guy just has an Elecmon, and it just turns into its own, like, lightning rabbit line or something.
Yeah,
like, there's probably a lot of cool stuff they'd do with that.
Yeah, it'd be really neat.
Yeah. But yeah, like, so Elecmon's just like, no, get out of here, stop, like, bullying my babies. And TK's like, oh yeah, we have to fight back. Or he's not like, we have to fight back, he's like, no, we don't want to leave. And Pamon just fights for him. And there's like, oh man, like, Pamon's gonna, like, yeah, Pamon's gonna Digivolve because, TK's Digivice is, like, going up.
Oh yeah, it does do that, doesn't it? It does the fake out.
And, like, TK's like, no, just stop, and it just goes back down. It's like, oh man, that would have been cool.
I mean, Patamon sucks at fighting, but he'd be a bit overkill to get the champion Digivolution. And then Elecmon would just be like, oh god, okay, I can't fight that.
I don't know, they'd probably, like, work in, like, like, Patamon learns to Digivolve through the fight, and, Elecmon's like, okay, maybe you guys aren't so bad after all, like, they explain things and stuff. And maybe, like, Leomon could show up and they'd be like, oh yeah, Patamon, like, go Angemon to fight him.
Yeah. Well, we can't have the champion pop until the episode where it's important.
Yeah, which means we can't win any fights ever with TK.
Yeah.
So they have like a lame tug of war match, and it's like, like it's there. There's like a sumo reference. It's fine.
They have a sumo wrestling match. I forgot.
Yeah, like TK's just dressed up as like like a traditional monk or something too.
Yeah.
Like he's dressed like super traditionally Japanese, and he's like doing a big thing about like introducing both sides.
Yeah, don't worry about where he got the costume or anything. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. But yeah, he's like, remembers back to when he was a baby and stuff, and there's like, oh yeah, if only we would like, all just work things out by talking like this, then everything would be okay.
I mean, good on TK for trying, especially with a Digimon who doesn't actually seem all that bad.
Yeah, Elecmon's a good guy. He just like, like, in the sub, they actually explain a bit more, because Elecmon's like, oh yeah, I was on edge because my entire chunk of the island just broke off and started floating to who knows where. And it's like, yeah, that seems like a pretty good reason to be anxious about, like, random visitors.
Yeah, that'd be pretty terrifying.
Yeah. So yeah, like, at some point, TK's just like, my parents are still mad at me for the time I painted the kitty cat. And it's like, what the fuck?
Again, like, literal child, like, younger than the rest, I could believe.
Why the heck would you do that, TK?
Because stupid kids are stupid.
Oh, man. Just reminds me, it's like I recently saw, like, it's like a group called Star Kid who makes, like, comedy musicals. There's just, like, an Oregon Trail one they did where it's like, there's just the kid character who's just, like, does just dumb crap all the time. They're just like, why the crap you do that? He's like, I don't know, I'm just a stupid kid.
Well, that's just being, like, self-aware about it. Like, I could believe that, like, a little kid might get his hands on some paint and be like, hey, it'd be fun to paint the cat.
That's fine to be, like, a funny, like, just, like, acknowledgement of the trope.
Yeah.
Just like, why'd you, like, stick that bird in your mouth? He's like, I don't know. Yeah, sort of do whatever. Just a stupid baby. He's like, yeah, probably the same reason I just, like, throw stuff off the wagon all the time. Just, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, kids are dumb. Especially your kid, listener.
Oh, boy. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. You know the one. If you have any, like, complaints, please like and comment down below. Oh, man. So, yeah, there's, like, a neat, like, into this, though, because, TK's just, like, look off into, like, the horizon and stuff, and it's sunrise. And it's like, oh, huh. Yeah, because, like, Devilmon, like, attacked them at, like, night. And, like, these episodes have all kind of, like, taken place, like, later in the day, and now it's, like, sunrise again. So all this, like, took place in one night, basically.
Yeah, the episodes are just cutting between what they were doing in that time.
Yeah, that's a neat little detail, honestly. I never really noticed that before.
Well, yeah. Well, Digimon has a continuing, coherent story most of the time.
Yeah. It's like, you look back and it's like, oh yeah, of course, but it's like, oh yeah, huh.
Yeah, it doesn't do the thing that Pokemon does where, and this isn't a knock at Pokemon, I'm just saying it doesn't do the thing where, like, Pokemon is the day, they go through the day and they fight whatever the bad guy is, be it Team Rocket or someone else or whatever.
Usually Team Rocket.
Yeah, usually Team Rocket. Could be someone else, or, like, maybe not even a conflict happens, but they go through the day and things happen and then it ends. And
yeah, usually Team Rocket will at least appear in, like, every single episode and try to do something. And whether or not they
Except-
interfere is, like, completely up to chance. But
Yeah.
mostly they're interfering.
I was gonna say, except in like episodes where like Ash is taking on the Regent's League or whatever, but Team Rocket's still usually there.
Yeah, just in the background, of something just like, just off to the side, like, oh, hey, maybe we'll get wrecked by the gym leader, maybe not.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, what Team Rocket's usually doing, in later seasons, I guess. I do remember in an earlier season where they tried to steal the equivalent to the Olympic torch. And,
yeah,
and it was freaking, and the torch is freaking Moltres.
Yeah, they steal the Olympic torch and they try to murder Ash with fire.
Yeah.
And Ash is just like standing with his arms out, just like, nah, I'll stop him.
Yeah, and I think I specifically remember Ash using like Bulbasaur to throw razor leaves at it, and I'm like, you stupid child.
Yeah.
Like,
fun fact, just like while we're on the topic, there actually is like a pretty proud tradition. I probably shouldn't say like proud tradition, but like a recurring thing of like people trying to put out the Olympic flame before it gets to the cup. Because there's like people who like hate like the like government of like the place the flame's being carried to and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it'll be like like in the Olympics in China, I think it's like people are like just armed with squirt guns.
Yeah, people, which is hilarious considering like the Olympics is supposed to be like this coming together of nations in friendly competition or whatever.
Yeah.
And people are like, government bad, spray torch.
Sometimes it really is bad.
Political bullcrap. I don't know. But what I was saying is like sometimes Team Rocket has interfered with like the tournaments or whatever. But a more recent tradition is that they get a job or something and they're trying to make money. Because it's like, well, what are we going to do? Attack Ash in the middle of the freaking Pokemon League? Probably not a good idea.
Yeah, that honestly makes a lot more sense, because, you can get the comedic reliefs in, and, you can still just, like, have them do their thing without, like, getting in the way of, like, actual conflict.
Yeah, and there's a... I remember, I don't even know what season or episode or anything, but I remember that there was like a league going on, and Jesse James and Meowth, they're like selling Pokemon League like souvenirs that I believe they made themselves. and they don't look like they're shoddy quality or anything. They look kind of nice actually.
Yeah.
And I think they get in trouble for it anyways, despite the fact that they're like, I don't know. Like maybe it's like, oh, you're not supposed to sell our merch because we're in charge of that or whatever.
Yeah.
Like freaking, I don't know.
You can't use the League brand for copyright reasons.
It's like, come on, they're not hurting anyone.
It's always the weird thing, because like Team Rocket's surprisingly confident when it comes to like putting together just like super elaborate like war mechs and like traps and stuff. But, like, when it comes to, like, actually, getting the job done, they just fail every single time. Except for that one time they catch Togepi. And, like, Giovanni's just like, this thing is useless.
Dang. There's also the parts in Black and White where they're super competent.
Yeah.
They're suddenly really, really competent out of nowhere, and it's really strange.
They're doing, like, actual spy crap, and they're just, like, exchanging code words and stuff, They're, like, making strategic retreats and stuff, like, being blasted off.
Yeah, they still lose their fights to Ash and his friends, usually, but they don't get launched. They usually whip out jetpacks and take off.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow.
I'm not sure why they did that. I'm glad that at least experimented with the idea of, like, Team Rocket kind of, like, presumably growing from their mistakes or whatever the crap.
I enjoy competent Team Rocket.
Yeah. I feel like that's totally gonna be, like, up to preference, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was the dumb baby episode for babies. Oh boy.
They have a tug of war fight.
Yeah.
We didn't mention that. They play tug of war.
There's no stakes. There's like, you know, they just sort of play tug of war, and that's just the end of it.
Yeah, Elecmon realizes that TK and Patamon aren't actually bad or there to hurt anyone, and
yeah,
that's it.
With this episode, I specifically like wrote down, "Well, lame episode. Maybe the sub's better," and the answer is slightly, because at least the sub version has like better atmosphere to it.
Yeah.
But still, like the lame baby episode, Adventure for Babies, where we learn about babies. And, like, I guess that's important enough information, but, you know, still, boy, I wish we could have done anything other than waste a lame baby episode for babies on, like, TK.
It's fine. TK needed his episode.
Yeah. Well, I get that the points that they're meant to be, like, split apart, but, you know, like, if he ran into, like, Ty or Matt or something and that was the episode, that'd be so much better. Or, like, just literally anyone else.
Well, okay, well, yeah, I guess if they ran into if he ran into Ty or Matt, then they could have had something attack them, and
yeah, they could have had like something.
Well, then it wouldn't have really been any different than an episode where something attacks any of the children. I don't know.
I'm like, that's kind of, you know, like the series.
I know, I mean, I don't know. Maybe the episode's fine. They did something a little different. It's whatever.
Yeah. Like, it's the lamest episode yet. Like, it's not offensive or, like, terrible or anything. It's just really lame.
It's just kind of boring.
Yeah. Just sort of like, boy, it sure would be fun if, you know, TK had, like, an adventure with anything other than just the baby clan who just had their babies.
Yeah.
And they just had to have, like, safe baby adventures in Babyland.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so TK's by himself. TK and Patamon are not fighters.
Yeah. They're also not really, like, amazing characters.
Yeah.
Like, if TK was, like, a better-written character with, like, some depth to him, then, like, maybe I'd be more okay with this. But,
Whatever. It's a child.
So, yeah, is that gonna wrap everything up, then?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I feel like we've, like, you know, we're, like, pretty, like, you know, solid on just, like, our framing of this episode specifically. Like, yeah, if our thoughts aren't really, like, super clear, then, you know, yeah, it's the baby episode.
I mean, if people want to... I mean, I assume people who are already interested in Digimon were the only people who'd be watching this. If they were actually interested in watching Digimon, they'd probably just watch the episode themselves.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like the only thing you'd really be missing if you skip this one is like TK being like, oh yeah, I want to climb Mount Infinity to fight like Devilmon and like, you know, get like my friends back or something.
I'm gonna climb this mountain and punch the devil in the mouth.
Like, well, actually, nah, it's not even that. He's not like, I'm gonna spy him. He's just like, I just want to talk to him. And it's just like, right. Oh man, you couldn't even get that.
Devimon cannot be reasoned with. There's been like 3 separate Devimons throughout the first 3 seasons, and none of them are reasonable.
Yeah, well, it's like the literal devil, so of course he's not gonna be reasonable.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't necessarily, like... Oh, crap.
Oh, cat.
I knocked my headset off my head. God. I think the show really shows off virus-type Digimon as evil, but that's not really how it is.
Yeah, because, like, Guilmon's a virus type.
Yeah. Like, virus-type Digimon are more leaning that way, but...
Yeah.
Like, they're not all evil. I'm trying to think...
It's like their alignment is evil, but that doesn't necessarily make them the bad guy, I think. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's a better way to put it.
Their alignment isn't even evil. It's just
It's chaotic.
Yeah.
I think.
They're anomalies in the program, I guess.
Yeah.
So they're weird and might not cooperate all that very often.
There's like a dark side to them, basically. And sometimes that's all of them. Especially if you're the actual devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this particular case, the Devimon, in whatever form he appears in, is the bad guy.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a Devimon show up and not be evil.
Devimon racism. It's like, yeah, of course all Devimon are bad. They're Devimon.
Yeah.
Yeah, well. Alright, so yeah, I guess I'll see you around then.
Alright.
Alright, later.